Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is 643 Sports. I'm your co-host, Ryan Shaver, here with my good friend, as always, Ted Goose Conley. We're here to preview the 2017-2018 NBA season. Lots to talk about, a lot of moving pieces, as always. It was a fun offseason. I'm going to kick it to my good friend Goose here, and we're going to discuss MVP candidates and what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, so appreciate you dishing it over. So MVP, that's a fun conversation to have. Obviously, reigning champion last year, Russell Westbrook. I think he's probably the favorite going in. I think you would agree with that, right? Um,
Yeah, no, I mean, him and LeBron, right?
right. And they're always going to be in the conversation. And then you got other guys to look at. You got your Kawhi Leonard who plays excellent defense. I think he's improved every single year he's been in the league. So he's definitely in the MVP conversation. I know I've noticed, on the Mothership Network and other Yahoo Sports. I don't want to quote him or anything, but a lot of people are picking Kawhi Leonard as like their sleeper MVP pick, right? So he's another one to look at. James Harden had a billion triple doubles last year, like Russ did. If Russ didn't play, James Harden's probably your MVP. And then you got up and coming guys like Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis. I'd say they're well established now, but as far as MVP goes, if you got those guys, and then Giannis, the Greek freak in Milwaukee. Those basically are those are the names I think are capable of putting up an MVP season this year. I don't really see anybody else other than the guys that I've listed that are capable of winning the MVP this year. What about you? Anybody else that's capable, I guess, in your opinion?
Yeah, there's a bunch of capable guys, and I think what you got to look at, like in every other sport, is generally people go with the best player on the best team. Right. So you got to look at teams that are going to be, in the running for a chance to play for an NBA Finals and get deep enough into the season. Now, granted, it went to Russell Westbrook last year. It could have gone to James Harden just as easy, who was the second best. The Rockets were the second best team in the Western Conference. If Westbrook doesn't average a triple double for the whole year, I could see them actually giving it to James. I'm with all the pundits that you kind of semi-quoted there. I think Kawhi Leonard, he's under the radar, but he's not. His offensive game has come tenfold from when he got into the league. He was a great defender to begin with, and he's going to D up everybody's best player, and then he's going to put 25 on you at the same time. So I like what he's able to do on a good Spurs roster that's kind of like the Patriots. They've always got, guys that you don't really know of, but they're going to play quality minutes. So Kawhi would be my pick preseason. And then you're looking at other good teams. So you can pick probably Steph Curry, Kevin Durant.
Oh, I forgot about Durant. I forgot about Durant.
LeBron James. I'm looking at the Eastern Conference at the second best team, I would say right now, which would be the Boston Celtics. And who's going to be the guy that steps in the forefront there? And I think it's got to be Kyrie Irving. So, out of the Eastern Conference, I'm only looking at a few guys because everybody transitioned to the West. But out of the East, it's got to be LeBron or Kyrie. I don't think LeBron – it's so hard with him because he puts up such great numbers across the board that kind of like we talked about in football, like with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, like if he doesn't put astronomical numbers, it just becomes mundane. And it's unfortunate that that's how it is, but it's the reality of how his greatness, essentially.
Right. No, I totally agree. But I think he has the worst syndrome with that, LeBron. Him and Mike Trout in baseball, they literally put up the same year every single year, in and out, except LeBron's on a championship basketball team. But the thing is like, Russ put up, what was it, 51 triple doubles last year? That is unheard of. That's godly numbers. He deserved the MVP last year. That's why my big bold prediction, which is the least bold prediction of all time, that I think he wins back-to-back MVPs this year. I think he continues to get the triple doubles. I think Melo and Paul George. I think George is going to focus defensively, and he's going to be a nice piece for Russell. But Russell's still going to do what he's going to do. Where Melo, I think Melo is actually going to be disappointed in OKC. Honestly, he's going to want the ball more than he gets it. And I don't know. I don't know how that's going to jive. But I think Russ is going to go bonkers. He's going to lead the team to a playoffs again. Maybe a disappointing team, but I think his stat line is going to be astronomical. Therefore, he wins the MVP. Who's your MVP pick overall?
Yeah, I like what you talked about in Carmelo Anthony, and I'm going to kind of pair this to when Allen Iverson got traded late in his career. He still thought he was a bona fide number one. He went from, obviously, to Philly to Denver, played with Carmelo Anthony, and then he got traded to Detroit when they were like at the tail end of their like big 4 or 5 when they had Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, and all those guys, Chauncey Billups. And I just don't think for whatever reason, he's not the guy. Like if you're building your team around Carmelo Anthony, he's proven that you're never going to win a title. You may not even get out of the first round of the playoffs. He's going to chuck it up. Russell Westbrook's numbers are going to go down purely because of that facet. He's still going to be very, very, very effective. I'm just curious to see how that dynamic works there because I don't know if there's enough shots. This is not new or riveting information because anybody who's got a brain can tell you that. So I look forward to seeing that and seeing how that transpires. But my MVP pick is Kawhi Leonard. Absolutely.
Right on. Yeah, so to bounce, I know now that's become like the Thunder video, but I think Russ's personality, I don't think he's going to care what Melo thinks. After maybe like the first 10 games, he'll be polite, but like he's trolling Durant all over the place. I don't think Westbrook cares about people's feelings. If they're losing because Carmelo's shooting the ball 20 times, he's going to stop giving the ball to Melo. And Melo can be mad all he wants, but Russ is like, I'm going to take over. Just like he did last year when Oladipo couldn't hit a shot or Andre Roberson. I honestly think I could beat Andre Roberson one-on-one if he would let me shoot. But, because that guy cannot score. Decent basketball player, just cannot score. Yeah, but I kind of want to move into the under-the-radar picks. I know we were talking offline about, like, man, who's a guy that is worth 30 wins? This guy's on your team, and it improves from a 21 basketball team to a 51 basketball team. I don't think there's very many NBA players out there. Kevin Durant's one. LeBron James is definitely one. Just because he's going to bring an entourage with him alone. If you get traded your team, he's going to recruit 6 superstars to come play for you. But I think, the Greek Freak up in Milwaukee, without him, the Milwaukee Bucks are a 15-win basketball team. Matthew Dellavedova is not going to get you to the promised land. So without Giannis, they win 15 games. I think Giannis takes a huge step, and he's in the MVP conversation till the very end. I don't know if there's a guy like that floating around the league. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, he's good. He's very, very good. Excuse me there. He's very good. The numbers that he puts up are ridiculous. He's only getting better, and he's so young still. As far as plucking a guy and just instantly getting 15, 20 wins right off the bat, I don't really think there's that many guys in the league. Even Steph Curry, we talked about, as good as he is, if you put him on the Orlando Magic, I don't see them as a forefront contender to beat the Cavs or even beat the Celtics in the Eastern Conference, as bad as they are. So these are rare breed guys. They're in rare airs. So Giannis, I think, is absolutely an MVP candidate because he's going to get a lot of minutes. He's the focal front of that team. The Eastern Conference is down. I anticipate the Bucks to probably be a 4 seed. I think Washington's going to be a little bit better than they are. And so, yeah, absolutely. He's a legit bona fide MVP candidate.
Yeah, no, for sure. Final thoughts. I'll say some players that we left out. DeMarcus Cousins, I don't see it. I think any of the Warriors, the problem with Durant, Durant almost went last year. I think the Warriors, there's so many good players. There's only one ball. Kind of thing with the Thunder you were talking about with Melo. I think that's what makes the Warriors kind of so hard for me to pick them, even though how good Durant is, how good Curry is, how many rebounds and steals, and defensively how good Draymond Green is. I have a hard time picking those guys for MVP. James Harden, we didn't really touch on him a lot, but the guy is really, really good. I don't know how Chris Paul is going to affect him with, especially with Harden's assists, right? Because Paul's going to he might not be taking as many shots, but he's going to have the ball in his hands. And he might be dishing it to Harden. Harden's points may go up, but his assists may go down. We'll kind of see how that plays out. I don't know. Final thoughts from you?
You're right. We didn't touch on James Harden as a Rockets fan. I didn't necessarily love all the trades they made in the offseason because we got a little bit older. We gave away some key pieces, some young guys that showed some ambition, but they weren't going to get us to the promised land. And, I don't know what the right answer is when you're going to up against that 4-headed monster there in Golden State. I give Daryl Morey effort for trying and compete and put together a good team. I don't like Harden because he doesn't play any defense. To me, it's the best all-around player, most valuable, and that's just not on the offensive side of the glass. He needs to play better defense to me to take him as a true, legitimate MVP candidate, and that's why I like Kawhi or a guy like LeBron who does play on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with pretty much everything you said. So, final thought: I got Russ, you got Kawhi. Let's wrap it up.
Let's do it. All right, brother.
All right. We're still on, but I'll trim this. My computer's